Hey y'all, welcome to Stivers Homestead. I'm Zach.
And I'm Jen.
And I'm going to go ahead and shoot you straight. I deleted our original opening.
On accident.
On complete accident.
We were doing a whole lot of canning, a whole lot of butter making. I'm pretty sure there was something else in the mix there, and it happened.
Yeah, memory card issues. It was just a wild day.
It was.
To be completely honest with you. But you're here because we are canning carrots today.
Yeah.
So a lot of stuff that goes on with this, and we're also making butter. You get a little added addition on how to make goat milk butter using the cream separator, so that's exciting as well. But we wanted to talk about carrots. So there's a lot to do with that. People have issues with germination, you don't know how to can, you don't know all the rules that go for it, and that's what we're going to show in this video. Yeah. So to start, how do you even grow carrots? You know, it seems like a simple thing to do, but when you actually go to put seed to dirt, it can be a little difficult.
It's hard, it's tricky.
It can be.
They're not the easiest thing to grow. They're microscopic seeds.
They are. They're so
not
tiny.
like beans or like tomatoes or peppers. You can't just throw it in the soil and expect it to come up.
Right.
It's a little bit more difficult, more involved.
And normally you're direct sowing these, and so it's hard to really get just those little fine pieces.
Yeah.
So how do we do it? We actually started our carrots that you're about to see last October. I dug a little trench down into the ground, and this is how we always plant carrots. We dig a lined trench down in the ground, and we sprinkle our seeds down through them.
Yeah, you don't plant one at a time. We just kind of gingerly sprinkle them everywhere in hopes that some of them come up. That's
right. And I promise you, I've had extreme success with this. Like it seems like it's 100% germination almost. I mean, with the amount of seeds I put in there, it looks like it. But we did 3 rows straight down. We did three different seed companies too, and 3 different brands. So we did Baker's Creek, the purple Black Nebulas. We did M.I. Gardner's just regular orange carrot. I can't remember the name. And then Haas Tools orange carrot. Haas Tools, M.I. Gardner's orange carrots are the ones that you're about to see. You will not see any Black Nebulas because they just 100% did not make it.
I don't know. The environment was the same. The temperature was the same. The soil was the same. They were all
in the same bed.
Yeah, there was nothing different because they were so close. So I don't know. I don't know what happened.
I don't know either. It has nothing to do with Baker's Creek. We grow so much of that. It's just that specific variety.
Maybe the seeds were older. I don't know.
Possibly. The variety just didn't work well. It germinated great. It just didn't make it through with everybody else. So we planted them last October. We then, once it got cold enough to where we were hitting freezing temps, because carrots, they're frost hardy, but
frost tolerant.
Frost tolerant. My bad. But you don't want your carrots freezing.
Right.
So what we did was we actually laid a cattle panel on top of our raised garden bed and put old windows sitting on top. So we made like a cold frame for our 4x12 raised bed. It sat on there all winter. The one cool thing about the windows was it has cracks, so the rain got in there. I didn't have to water extremely often. Sometimes I would just wash soil. If it looked really dry, I would lift them up and give them a little spray. But that's how we did it. So once we got into no longer freezing temps, but just frost temps, the windows came off. Because then it was starting to get too hot underneath those windows, and when your carrot tops start hitting that window top, time to get them out of there.
Yeah.
So then we let them grow until now, which was May, probably 10th-ish, when we finally harvested them. First off, we needed the bed. Yeah. It's time to get the summer crops in there. But we pulled them out, had a good harvest. We should have thinned better. We did go through and thin. If you do the trench method like I did, you're definitely going to have some tight carrots close together. So you want to make sure that you're pulling some of those out because you're going to have smaller carrots, which is what happened to us.
Yeah.
It's fine. We still are going to have an amazing amount of carrots to produce out there, but it's a lot more work, which rolls us into how to can.
So with any root vegetable, canning root vegetables is a whole lot more involved process than say canning tomatoes or peppers. Tomatoes are difficult too. You know, you have to de-seed, de-skin, all that. But root vegetables, obviously you pull them right out of the ground. So they're, first of all, very dirty, very muddy. The clay and the soil and the dirt sticks to them. The cleaning process is very involved. Looking back, we should have spread them out in the yard and sprayed them with a water hose. We did not do that because we were in a hurry. We had rain coming that night. We had a freeze. So we brought them in. We let them set for about 2 days. couldn't can just yet with the monthly events, so we had to wait until it was appropriate time.
Some people believe it, some don't. We believe it.
I've tried it. I'm telling you, it don't work. So anyways, they sat and then we washed them all off. The washing probably took what, 3-4 hours?
Yeah, and think about
washing each carrot.
Think about like the Michelin Man. He has a lot of rolls, right?
Yeah.
Carrots do too, and so that dirt gets into the crevices.
Yeah, so you have to wash everything off. It wasn't a scrub yet. It was just mainly a wash. Then we had to cut all the tops off. You can eat carrot greens if you want to. However, we had so much, so we gave most of them to the rabbits and the chickens and the goats. They loved them.
They love it. Nice little treat for them. And the pigs. The pigs were going crazy over the carrots.
Extra greens for the animals is always a plus. Then you move into the peeling process, which took probably double the hours of the washing.
Again, we had small carrots. Unfortunately, that clip got cut. So you just see them once they're already into little circles. But they were we had them about that size average. We had some good ones, but we had a lot of what you would say a baby carrot. Which some people prefer to grow them that way. They are a little bit sweeter. And
I mean, they're definitely sweeter. They're definitely fresher that way.
Yeah.
They're not bitter whatsoever.
Just a little more time consuming.
Yeah, so you peel, then you go back, you wash again. We actually put ours in the fridge overnight because it was late by the time we got them all peeled. The next day we came back, we washed them all again, really, really good. Make sure there was no dirt whatsoever in those crevices because that is just, I think the clip was caught, but maybe not. But that is just asking for botulism.
Right.
You cannot leave leftover dirt or soil into those crevices of your carrots because once you go to can them, all that bacteria will harbor. You have to really make sure that you get everything off of those carrots, which the peeling process does a lot of that, but you still have to go back and scrub again, which I did. Don't know if it caught it, but
I think that one's in there, I believe.
Then maybe. You go into the cutting process. So our carrots were small. We didn't have to cut, but I feel like carrots should be cut. It just felt right to have them in little slices.
Yeah.
So I spent about probably 2 hours cutting them up. I think overall it was a total of about 14 pounds of carrot.
Yes. Which is a lot of carrots for one 4x12 raised bed.
Yeah, and that made 5 quarts. 5.5. One of the quarts wasn't full, so we just went ahead and put it in the fridge.
We'll eat those this week.
Yeah, so about 5.5 quarts of carrots. If you break that down to pints, that's what, 11 pints?
Yes.
So that's a lot of carrots.
Quick math.
I mean, it's good carrots.
Yeah. Again, one raised bed.
Right.
It's awesome. It just shows you
no maintenance whatsoever. You don't have to prune them. You don't even have to fertilize because our soil's good.
Right.
So it was very low maintenance for growing them, but harvesting them was high maintenance.
Which that's kind of the part of it, right? You'll see that in the clips. I mean, if you followed any of our canning videos, canning is a process. It takes time. There's things that you have to do. So let's quit rambling. We'll get right back into the video of actual footage. And what you're about to jump into is Jen starting to pack the jars. So the carrots are cut. You need to add how much salt?
1 teaspoon of salt per quart. If you're doing a pint, I believe it's half a teaspoon of salt.
Yep, so it's canning salt, just your normal canning salt.
Pickling or canning salt.
Yeah, pickling or canning salt. Not iodized. Yes. Very good. And then so we put our carrots in hard and fresh. We didn't do anything to them beforehand. Yeah. We put them in our sterilized hot jars. And then she had some water boiling on.
Clean boiling water.
Yep. And then so she packed the jars, put the salt on, filled it up with the hot boiling water.
1 inch headspace.
1 inch headspace. And then we were ready to go into the pressure canner.
Yeah.
Now you're caught up. Let's roll to the video. All right, now all she is doing is she got some white distilled vinegar, put it on a paper towel, and she's wiping the lids.
Yep.
So that just any grit or grime or anything that might have been remaining on the lids or on the rings, I guess.
Yeah, carrots are not messy though. But
right.
Still do it.
Still want to do it. Just make sure it's all nice and clean because that's another thing that could cause it to not seal if it's not nice and clean around the edges. So there you go. That looks so pretty. Such a nice, vibrant one. What was that?
What?
Yeah.
Extra animals coming in?
So, Just saw something on the side of my eye. I didn't know if the cat was bringing out a chipmunk again or not. Holy day. Are you ready for these to go in there?
Yes. Okay. This lonely guy goes in the fridge. Ow.
When I heard the dogs and everything going crazy. Ain't crazy. All that hard work. And here we are, just 5 quarts.
Fruit veggies.
Whole day of work for 5 quarts.
5 quarts. Ow! What?
No one said this is a easy way to do food.
No, definitely not.
No. Alright.
Alright, they're in the canner, pressure canner. I don't know if I mentioned that, but you don't want to water bath carrots. You want to pressure can them. And we're going to let it vent for 10 minutes, right?
Yep, and then put on the weight. So where we are on elevation, we are 10 pounds of pressure, right?
Yes.
That and your timing is going to be your biggest difference depending on your elevation. So make sure that you're following either the Ball Canning book or you're going to Ball's website. I know they offer a lot of stuff digitally. USDA, all that stuff. It's out there. So just Google your area. I think it's about zip code, just to make sure that you're using the right pound of pressure and the right timing. But we are 10 pounds for 30 minutes, so after 10 minutes, we'll get this bad boy going. I'm in a butter thing.
No, like grandma used to have.
My grandma never had
On
it.
the table.
Oh, like with the little lid.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. But wouldn't it go bad?
Not on the table. You have to put it in the fridge.
Oh.
40 days.
40 days. Well, you can just use pressing seal or saran wrap. Right?
Yeah. Okay.
My bad. Would you want a dishwasher if we had one way to set it up? No. I don't think so either. I don't think I would either.
I like washing dishes.
I wouldn't say I like washing dishes.
I like washing dishes, but I don't like washing the dishes that you because you don't soak them.
I don't what?
And you don't soak them. You leave your utensils outside, and then there's barbecue sauce on everything. My stuff is basically already clean. It's true.
Well, I've been having to wash the milking pails.
That's a lie. You've done it one time in your life, and all of a sudden you're a saint.
I did it last night. No. Lordy day.
I did it.
See, you're setting me up for failure there. Look at that. Because what's gonna happen is I'm gonna need this knife right here. And when I take that off, it's just all gonna come flying out.
Look at it closer. Look at that. You got the specially placed cup. Everything is perfectly balanced, and then the lid on top. It's a masterpiece, I tell you. It's my favorite thing to do.
All right, 10 minutes is up, weight is on, and we are gaining pressure. So we have it on high for now. And once we get a little bit closer to 10 is when I'll start moving it down and we'll show you. Okay, as you can see, we've risen a little bit above 10. It's okay, don't panic. Just turn it down. I'm now under medium, 1-, and so it'll chill out and start loosening up just a little bit.
You just don't want it below.
Right, you just don't want it below. If you do by chance go below, start your timer over. Right, you gotta start your 30-minute timer or however much time it is for you all over, get yourself back up to 10 and start it over. So it's still not ruined if it does, but you have to start over.
Yeah.
Added benefit to this video, how to make goat milk butter.
With a cream separator.
With a cream separator.
So you don't have to have a cream separator, but we love it. We love ours. It just makes it easier. You can do other things, and so we use it for butter.
It is a lot more difficult though with goat milk because it doesn't separate as well as cow's milk does. Hi, Ray Ray.
So first we are bringing our milk up to 100 degrees. You got to warm it up or use it straight from the goat. It's plenty warm if you get it straight from them. It was about probably 1.75 gallons, I think.
I think so.
3/4. Yeah, 1.75 gallons of milk. So we're gonna bring it up to temp real quick, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, and the reason we do that is because we only have one goat in milk, so we would not. It would be a waste of time.
Right.
If we just use like her one. I mean, she gets like a quart every time we do it, and that would not be enough cream to do anything. Cat just attacked her daughter. It's been a weird day. So we stock up a couple days and then we make the butter. So that's why we have to warm it up to 100 degrees.
Yep.
But here we go. Okay, once you're up to 100 degrees, you want to get this started. This is the cream separator. It's an electric one that we have. You want to turn it on so it'll start picking up the speed. And now Jen's got me a very, very full pipe that I'm going to try to get in here. So that's going to be fun.
No, this pipe is going to smell like milk. I'm excited for that.
Okay, the 30 minutes is up. We're just gonna turn our burner off and let it be. Don't touch nothing. So we're gonna wait till that gets all the way down to 0 pounds of pressure before we take the vent off. Even when it gets down to 0, we're still gonna give it a couple minutes just to really make sure it's all out of there before we pull that off. If you pull that off, you're gonna have steam flying everywhere through an extremely tight hole, and that can cause things to go ba-boom. So just turn it off and let it cool down. Okay, after you've got done making a mess, you put your cream. We just put it in a quart jar. That's about how much it made out of, what, a gallon?
Gallon and 3/4.
Gallon and 3/4. We almost got a quart of cream, which is really good. So what we like to do when we make butter is we like to pop this in the freezer and chill it just a little, and then we'll get to shaking. And in the meantime, Jen is getting all the skim put back in the big gallon jug, and we'll take that to the pigs.
Yep.
The fun part of using the cream separator, cleaning all the pieces.
The hassle.
Show them all the, like, all that.
There's like 1,000 little discs that you have to separate, because that's how it separates the cream.
Right.
You have to take every piece of it apart and wash it.
Yeah.
That part is not fun, but it's worth it for what you get.
Right. It's a little tedious, but it is what it is.
I only do it like once a week. So.
Right. And you get your cream. In the meantime, we're at 0. So you can now take that the rest of the way off. And there was just a little bit that was left in there. And so we'll let that finish to where we don't hear or feel anything anymore. And we'll take the top off. The carrots are done.
No.
Whew. We normally only do pint jars, but this is our first quart full of cream. Has a lot more shaking. Wears you out. But once we get this almost completely done, we do have a little butter mold to make little sticks of butter. So we'll pour it in there, put it in the fridge, and it'll make awesome little sticks of butter. I'm extremely out of breath. All right, Jen.
Oh, we'll put it on here first.
Oh, we're putting it on the plate first.
Squeeze the water out. Oh.
Too much. All kinds of suctiony.
Fun noises.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I hope you enjoyed all of that. The butter is setting up great, which we'll show you here in just a second. But to talk about carrots, was it worth it?
Yeah.
Show them what we got here.
So this is only 2 quarts.
Yeah, it's only 2.
Just to give you a quick glimpse, look how beautiful that is. And those are quarts. So that's now gonna go in our pantry. Not only is the color beautiful, but we have now added 5 quarts to our pantry of fresh, homegrown, organic carrots.
Yep.
The only thing that ever touched those carrots was water and organic fish fertilizer from Hoss Tools.
Which actually, we didn't even use that this time. The fish fertilizer is like our favorite fertilizer. We use it every Sunday.
It's mostly for the summer, though.
But yeah, but when we overwinter those, they just said, we didn't whip out the fish fertilizer. So that is legit just
water
in soil.
Yeah. Very healthy carrots, clean carrots. Root vegetables that you buy at the store are most likely sealed with pesticides and sprays to make them look waxy and beautiful. If you do buy them, you can peel the skin off and that makes it better, but these are just 100% fresh and good for you.
Right, and the reason for that, which a lot of vegetables are in general, but the reason root vegetables specifically are, is the reason we had to can, which we mentioned in the video, is because we don't have a root cellar.
Yeah.
Root veggies need to stay at a cool temp to stay crisp and fresh for a long period of time. If a root veggie stays in warmer temp areas, so say like your house control temp, 70 degrees, they're gonna get soft and go bad fast. So your grocery store root veggies are at room temperature and they're the crispest thing in the world, right? So that's what we're getting at on all the stuff that is pumped into them to make sure that they can last to your kitchen table.
Yeah.
So my assumption, 100% worth
Absolutely.
it, even though it was worth all the peeling.
Yeah, and in the future, we will probably designate a whole, probably 30-foot bed to carrots, be able to thin them well, and then be able to harvest them more quicker and more efficiently, and always have canned carrots in our pantry.
I completely agree, and it's a big task that we're taking on for ourselves, especially for root vegetables. If you've caught any of our videos, you see our huge root out potato bed. Yeah. We've now got carrots, and we're just going to continue moving forward with those root veggies because that's the one thing that we lacked.
Garlic too.
Garlic too. We've got horseradish. We're going to try to start doing ginger, even though we're in 6B, and they're like, oh, you can't do it. We're going to do it. So that's the stuff that we're tasking ourselves to get better at, is the root veggie concept. So I hope you all have learned something. I hope you are a little bit more confident in growing carrots. If you have any questions, definitely shoot them down in the comments.
Yeah, definitely. It's a little bit more difficult crop to grow, but you can do it, because if we can do it, you can do it, and hopefully that inspires you.
And I just see this little bad boy in a pot with some sugar on top, a little brown sugar, just sweetening it up.
Or in a stew or a soup.
Shoo-wee. That'll be fantastic. On a roast. Oh my goodness.
Or just raw.
Or just raw.
Yeah. All right, let's look at the butter.
Oh, yeah. All right, butter time.
Butter.
There it is.
Look at that beauty. So that is goat's milk butter. This is our cute little butter mold we got off Amazon. We made the butter from about it was 1.75 gallons of milk. And then you saw the whole process. It's always fun. But yeah, that's our butter. So that will probably last us a week or two. I plan on probably giving my mom a stick or two. And yeah, fresh homemade butter with absolutely no preservatives, nothing in it but all the vitamins and minerals and goodness from goat's milk. It's beautiful.
And so we really need to get another mold, because we did have a lot left over, which all we did with the leftover was, actually I think y'all saw it, sorry, this video's been everywhere, was she put it in parchment paper, put it in a bowl, and so we'll have that. Then we'll probably keep that for ourselves and like either sell or give away the sticks of butter, because they just look better.
Yeah.
All right, y'all, this video was crazy. I hope it didn't feel so crazy for you all, and it felt a little bit more mainstream, but for us, what a day.
What a day. It's been a day.
It has been a day. It was one of those where that trickle effect. One thing took way too long and way too complicated, and then just rolled from there. But we're done. It's the end of the evening. And we just really appreciate that you all watched this video.
Yeah. So if you're new here, please subscribe. If you're at all interested in becoming more self-sustainable or homesteading, gardening, animals, any livestock, any of that stuff, please follow us. We will try to help you all along the way. And don't forget to subscribe if I didn't say that.
You said it. But yeah, it's been a long day. All right, y'all. We love you.
We love you.
Until the next one.
Bye.
Bye.